Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk from the left side of the Atlantic. I've got my nice coffee here.
And it's Pilgrim from the correct side of the Atlantic with a good back, not hurting anymore, touch wood, and his cup of tea in his Pilgrim mug, which you can't get for half price anymore. You had your chance last week, people.
We started slightly late today because Pilgrim was telling me a story, but as he was telling me the story, I was wondering if he doesn't learn anything.
No. I mean, what happens is, right, is that I get mental blanks. When my granddaughters require something doing, everything just goes blank and I just do it.
Yeah.
Hence, I went down a zip line and a high wire trapeze act.
Yeah, long story short, a couple weeks back he's completely laid up wiping out on his whatever it is, windsurfing rig.
Windsurfing, yes. Wipe out.
And apparently yesterday he decided to do a ropes course with his granddaughter and do a zip line and then roll into a PLF at the end of it.
Yeah. And the guy at the end said, "You do realise you don't need to tuck and roll here. It's not a parachute, mate." I went, "Yeah, I do need to tuck and roll. You don't know. You do not know what would happen if I landed like that." So yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't pull you aside and say it's time for you to. It's time for you to put that up, Granddad.
Yeah, they should. I mean, all the rest of the family were below filming it because that's all they do, isn't it? They just film it on the cameras because if anything happened, that was going on YouTube. That was going out there, wasn't it, on Twitter?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Holy cow, man!
So it's like that, yeah.
Good
But nobody
morning.
else wanted to do it.
I know. Yes. You know. Yep. Someone's got to step up, man. Fast Red Horse, Gator, just around midnight. Oh, Brute, how's it going, brother? Odd Dog, Wayne, Midnight. I think I already said midnight, maybe. Cliffy, good morning to everybody. And it is Sunday what is this? This is the 6th of August, I believe, and we're almost at Christmas, Pilgrim.
We are nearly Christmas. It's snowing, just about nearly.
I'm just angry we don't know anything about the Christmas boxes yet.
Yeah, there's no Christmas
no-
marathon boxes.
Yeah, what are they gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah, are they just gonna not do it this year or what?
I think they're not doing it this. I think they're short some money.
I
I
think
think they've run out of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
they can't build them. They don't have enough money to build the boxes this year.
No. No.
They have all this. Yeah, they have all the stuff to put in it, but they can't. There's no digital boxes to be had.
They've run out of pixels. That's the one, Gaia. Run out of pixels. In fact, the elves have made the things. Christmas elves have made all the things, but because there's no pixelated boxes to put them into, they can't go anywhere.
So Christmas is canceled. Probably those boxes are on the same boat your bike's on.
That would be the one. Story of my life.
Stuck in Belgium.
It was. Do you know what? The bloody Europeans have pissed me about enough. I tell you. No wonder we left that place. I tell you. You guys, the good old United States of America. They built this piece of American iron to send to Pilgrim, right?
Yep.
Good old Indian, 1200cc Scout, right?
Yep.
So it gets across the Atlantic, no problems at all. But instead of docking in the UK, they dock in Europe because there's obviously a tax break for doing that. They send it to Belgium, which is the main distributor. Phoenix, I think, is the distributor for Indian motorcycles. And then Belgium keep hold of my bike for 2 bloody weeks.
Your bike just sailed right by you.
It did.
It went right. It went to Belgium.
Yeah,
To
bloody
get-
euros.
to
They
get-
sat on it for 2 weeks.
Went to get some tulips or something.
I don't know what it went to. Yeah, I bought an Indian just around midnight. I did. Anyway,
Are you
good
gonna-
news is it's now here.
Now that your back is well, are you gonna jump it?
You all got me joking. I don't think I'm not jumping 1200cc engine, mate. I just hope the electric start never fails because I ain't gonna jump it. Not in a million years.
Oh, I meant like jump it off a ramp.
What? No, man, no, don't be. No, it's an armchair with wheels, isn't it? It's an Indian. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's not like my Ducati, is it?
So it's a Scout.
Yeah, it's a Scout.
Indians.
Yeah. I've got a single seat. Guess what I got? I've got a short reach seat fitted because I'm too small to reach the pedals.
Dude, that's
You're
a
fine.
that's a big old beefy
It's
sucker,
a big
man.
beast, isn't it? Yeah, it's a big piece of American iron. Not the bobber, no, just the standard Scout.
Is
But
it
I've got
blacked
in
out?
Maroon red. Pardon?
Oh, it's not a Rogue.
No, it's not a Rogue. It's a standard Scout. It's in maroon red. It's
Maroon
got
red.
tan leather short reach seat, smoke tinted indicator lenses, and the 1901 fly screen fitted to it.
So that's a lot more bike than your old one.
Just a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I might be too old to push it into the garage, you know.
Holy crap, man.
Might have to get the neighbours to give me a hand.
That's pretty cool, though.
Well,
Well,
it's my retirement present, isn't it? So it's got to be done.
yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's see, channel news. What's going on other than that stuff? Oh, I got back into project mode yesterday, and
Did you now?
yeah, oh yeah, I had to work on the sprinkler system. I already mentioned it yesterday on the stream, so I won't go into it too
Right.
much. But I had one bad actor I knew of, and then as I started looking around, I realized I had like 3 bad actors. So that was 3 holes to dig. And then about a week ago, I had, you know how they pop. I don't know if you have sprinkler systems where you see them, they pop up and they spray around,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they go back down once the pressure goes away.
Yeah.
I had one that would stay up, so it was another on the way out bad actor. Probably had
Right.
debris and stuff in it. More than likely, I could have opened it up and maybe cleaned it out, and it might have lasted a little longer. Who knows? Sometimes that's
Yeah.
not worth as. Sometimes that's not worth it because you can get a sprinkler head for $4-8, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that one was doing that, and then I come out the other day and the sprinkler's on, taking the dog for a walk, and it's just gushing out. It had been stuck up, and someone had kicked it over and broke it.
Oh man.
So that was bad actor number 4, and then I realized 2 more weren't oscillating. So 6 total, 6 total sprinkler heads that I had to do. So
And
then,
that's how many out of how many? How many have you got in the garden?
oh
In
man,
the yard?
in the front and back, there's probably 30.
Oh, is that so? It's got right.
Yeah,
okay,
there's
so
a bunch of them.
there's a lot.
So, dig the holes. That's always a pain in the rear, you know. 6 holes, dig it out.
Yeah.
I got to reach down and make sure I don't twist off the little, because it's a smaller PVC that comes out and then does a 90, and you screw it onto the threads.
Oh right, okay.
So you got to make
It's
sure
not
you.
complicated.
No, it's not. But if you grab the top of it and start twisting, it'll really start twisting that lower tube. And if you break that tube, now you're really in a
yeah.
bind.
Start to dig
You're
stuff.
now you got to get further down and fix that kind of thing. But anyway, so I get all those screwed off, and I've got my document right here. I said this wasn't going to be a long story, but too bad it's going to be a long story. It's
gonna be a
so
long story.
I've got
Ah,
that's my
wow.
historic-
Wow, you're a proper engineer.
yeah, that's the document with little pictures on.
Good job you only fly planes for a living.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah. And it was raining one day. I was out there working on some other crap. So as I screw all these off, I go inside. I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, I got the plan. I think I know what I need, roughly anyway, because I got to go there and then look at the shelf of all the crap and figure out what pieces I can use and whatever.
Can I just ask? Did you draw that plan, or did you have a 3-year-old nephew draw that for you?
No, I drew this, man. This is
You drew that. Okay.
yeah, look at that.
Just saying. Yeah. I mean,
perfect.
you know,
Yeah.
is that the sort of thing you sketch on your knee pad?
Yeah,
when you're
1,
in
2,
pilot
3,
mode?
4, 5, 6. I numbered them around the yard, so I knew. And then I
Oh,
got
look at
see the
that,
little
yeah.
little whisker dudes, so I know what
Yeah.
side. What?
So you coloured it in a bit as well, did you? Got some
Yeah.
crayons.
Yeah, that's not blood. That's actually just dirt. So
Sorry, go on. Carry
no,
on.
you're fine. It's a valid question. It's a valid question. I cannot draw. I've never been able to draw.
Okay.
So unscrew the thing, look at it, I'm like, great, and I go inside. I'm like, I should look at all of them because I know there's two.
Oh, good point.
I know there's 2 sizes. One's much more common, but there is a larger diameter out there in the wild.
Right.
So
Right.
wouldn't you know it? By the time I look at all 6 of them, I have 3 that I very cleverly called big.
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 There you go. 3
And then
big.
the other one was small.
Oh right. Okay. Not
Yeah,
medium.
because I have no idea. I didn't measure it. I don't care. All I know there's 2 sizes. Somebody in here is going to come up with what it is. But
Oh my god.
there's 2 sizes of thread. So I get there. Oh, this actually leads me into another story, but we'll get to that in just a minute. I get there and I'm messing around, and I realize that I'm going to have to cobble together something to go from big to small because there's not enough hardware for the big ones, and I needed to raise everything about 3 or 4 inches,
Right.
because over the years from the initial install, more ground has built up basically as it happens.
That's the right term. That's the right term for
What?
precipitation and things like that. It's called rising up of the ground.
Well, it does, right? Because your grass grows, and then more stuff piles up, and then next thing you know, your sprinklers are that far under the level of the yard.
Yes. You're building a mountain in your house.
Yes,
Backyard.
slowly. That's why the Roman ruins are like under 20 feet of dirt.
Yeah, I mean, in about 1,000,000 years, you'll probably be
Yeah.
same as Utah, a mountain.
But I needed him to. So anyway, I had to do this whole cobbled together, large to small, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But eventually, I defeated it. And
Did you?
yeah,
Did
sort
you
of,
defeat it, though?
sort of though.
Okay.
They work, and they're more or less going where I want them to go. One of them didn't work out the way I wanted to. It's kind of crappy, so I may have to replace that one, and I'm gonna have to adjust them. But more or less, they're all good to go.
Right. So now you're an expert at fixing sprinkler systems. So you're going to go and check the other 24 heads just in case you've got a continuous problem.
This is a problem, Pilgrim, because I have one what do they call them? One circuit.
Right.
I talked about it a while ago. Essentially, what I did is I cut it off, shortened it. Now it's too short. Now my pump short cycles. So now I have to dig something up and add another couple, and it's a section that doesn't get enough water. So yeah, that one is still lurking in the background. I have not.
Right.
That was the actual problem, but I had to divert to fix the bad actors in the front yard because the grass was dying. So I still have the original problem.
I think this is sounding more and more like a Pilgrim problem than ever.
Yeah.
I think you're catching it off me. You are.
It was 1,000,000 degrees too, and I'm digging those holes. The good news is it was a rainy day yesterday, and I got rained on a little bit, but at least the sun wasn't beating down. But I get out of bed today, and my back is aching, and I'm like, I don't know how many more years. I don't know how many more years. I'm hoping another 15, 20 that I'll be able to do shit like that. But I can already feel the pain of that shit.
You're gonna reach a point where you need to make a choice in life. You either move to a retirement home or employ people to do things for you.
Yeah.
Because you won't be able to do
Right,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Eventually, yeah, I'll have to. They're not Rainbird. I think they're Orbit. It's a mixture. I went to Lowe's, so I don't know. It's just whatever one looked like it would fit that particular spot, which was probably a mistake. I should have got all the same. But when I went to Lowe's, it's a disaster. None of them are in the right spot. People are picking them out and going, no, that's not the one. They put it back in the wrong spot. It's a mess. I added to that chaos because I forgot a couple times where I'd picked one up as I'm looking at it.
Right. You're the guy that waters while it rains. Absolutely.
I do midnight because I have a pump and a well, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I actually don't though.
Water free.
I actually turned it off. If I get a good rain, I'll go out and turn it off for a couple days because I don't want my garden. My problem is my vegetable garden gets soaked here sometimes in Florida when it's raining a lot, and you'll get a lot of rot. So I will turn it off if it's raining really good around here.
You should grow sweet peas then, because they're above ground. Anything above ground, you're all right.
I can't do anything in the summer, man. It's too hot. Like my cucumbers, I got a couple cucumbers, and then about mid-June it got really hot here, and it just within 2 weeks everything's like dying.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Sucks. I don't know if I mentioned you guys yesterday, but a guy tried to steal my phone in Lowe's.
Really? What, out
Yeah.
of your pocket?
Nope. So stupidly, I put it in the carriage.
Like you do. Yeah.
Yep, where the kids would sit, and I had a measuring tape with me. The master plan was in there, and I have it sitting there next to what I was doing, so I could go back and check. But the phone was there, and so my back is to it, and I'm looking at a wall of sprinkler accoutrement, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And I see two guys come down the row behind me, and they're kind of one after another. So I see him. The one guy goes behind me, and he spits out that side of my peripheral. This guy doesn't go right behind him. So I'm like, oh, does he want to see something behind me or whatever? And I'm like, and then also something in the back of my mind went, check the cart. And I turn around, and the dude has his hand in the.
Really.
He's like reaching in, and he's trying to move because I put the I'd put this measuring tape on top of the phone. So he's trying to move the phone, the measuring tape stealthily and grab the phone. I turn around, look at him. He brings his hands out. He goes, "Oh, sorry, excuse me," and keeps on going.
Really?
Yep.
Jeez, that would have been my cue to snap his arm, mate. That would have been my cue to deal him some serious damage.
Well, he didn't have it. He had let go just as I was turning around of the.
But you knew what was happening.
I knew exactly what was going on. He knew I'd busted him, and he kind of looks down. "Oh, excuse me, sorry," and he goes around me, and I look at him and I said, "Motherfucker," right to him, and he kept going.
I bet he did. I bet he left the store. Like,
but there was two of them. But it was pretty smooth how he did it, and he had clearly ganked, thieving of opportunity. He clearly grabbed stuff in the past when he could.
Well, it makes you think. I mean, women's purses and things like that. They're the sort of scum that would do that. Some old dear walking around with a purse sticking out of a handbag, and away it goes. You know what I mean? They've got no morals, these people.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, there we go. You should have had me with you, mate. I would have snapped his arm.
He didn't have it in his hand.
Involved.
There was two of them. He didn't have it in his hand, so there was no way really to prove it. But I knew exactly what he was doing, and the way he reacted to me, he knew exactly what he was doing. And there was no sense in escalating it at that point,
No, you're quite right.
But
don't need to use an Exocet.
Plus, I don't know. There's two of them. And he was young man.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger than me.
But you had the advantage of having sprinkler heads in your hand. That could have done some serious damage to his face.
Oh yeah, could have snapped him in the ears with him.
Yeah, it could have just.
I could have used the big one on him, not the small.
Yeah, exactly. Not the small one, the big one. That's what it's for.
Yeah, that was. And I knew when I said it, I'm like, I really shouldn't do that. I'm like, whatever. It's Lowe's. It's Panama City. It's fine. I'm right here with it. And I'll be honest with you, when they came around the corner and started coming at me, I was already sort of all right. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that. Let's see.
Are you concealed carry in Florida, or is it open carry?
We do have concealed carry. I think they just passed open, not open carry, but constitutional carry, meaning that you don't have to have.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's somebody may know. Actually, is that actually live? Has that gone live? I don't know.
Because like Muskrat said, SIG P365 is the answer. Dude.
I've had my conceal for a long time. I don't always carry though, because my problem is you can't take it to the base.
Yeah.
So leaving it in the truck or whatever is not an option.
Not ideal, is it?
So it's a lot of back and forth, and what I'm really worried about is freaking forgetting and then going through the gate, and I got the damn thing with me.
Yeah, we used to have that as well. I mean, back in the day when we were allowed them, it was always concealed carry. You couldn't open carry. And I had a personal protection weapon for various reasons. So I was allowed to carry. I was licensed to carry. And it was so strange going out. And you go out for a Chinese meal and you're packing heat. You don't, it's the UK. It's not like the US. So you just feel conscious of it all the time. You think, if I get into any nonsense, I'm packing heat here. I don't really need to be out with this. It was quite difficult to carry.
Well, I mean, on the other hand, in Florida, probably every third person we pass, especially where I live, it's either in their truck or on their person. I never see any issues with it. People don't run around pulling out their weapon.
No, it's not the go-to thing, is it? In any situation,
it's not that common. I'm with you, Cliffy. It's not, except at the same time, just whatever. We're getting into politics at this point. I'll just leave it at that. I hear what you're saying.
Well, I just want to comment on the 007. It's not 007. I'm a hobbit. It's 003.5. Just about 3.5.
Have we even talked about tanks yet? We haven't.
Not yet. No, should we get to it?
Let's do it. I do it. I bought the. Check it out. I bought it, fellas.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
I bought it. And look. It's the Thanos. What did it cost you? Everything.
Yeah.
20,000 something bonds, which is probably going to make some people have an actual conniption fit. I don't care. Just for the record, I do not care. 10,000 gold, 20,000 silver, 200,000 free experience. Don't worry about the free experience because I don't use it, or I have every tank. Although with new lines, it does become a player. And some of the national ones as well. But anyway, the conclusion I came to, Pilgrim, because we were talking about this before as well, and Pilgrim asked, what did it cost you and all that stuff. And I came to the conclusion that what's the point of having all this crap?
Well, good point.
20 million
because
silver,
it
yeah.
just sits there, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right. I'm like, whatever. And then people go, well, yeah, but what if something better comes along later and you've used your stuff? Okay, what if something better comes along later? Whatever. I don't know.
But the thing is, being a collector, you sort of have to use your resources like that if you have to, because
Right.
you're a collector.
Right.
You don't need to hoard your resources, do you?
1212 would be awesome, but I did not get a numbered one, Gator. I actually didn't show up that night. I went to bed, got it in the morning when I wonder if there's any left, and really waited another day. I didn't buy it till yesterday.
Wow, you were lucky to get it. Well, not lucky to get it. I don't think many people did what you did.
Well, how many are left, guys? Who hasn't bought it and
I don't know.
can tell me
I
what's
haven't
left? There was 6,000 or 7,000 left, I thought, yesterday. I don't know what it sits at right now. Diablo, thanks, man. Diablo, appreciate that very much. Yeah, I could sleep on the bond. The bonds are nice and cushy, though, right? They fit.
What you've spent there, I mean, we were talking about this before we came live. What you spent there would wipe me to zero on all of those 4 items.
That was probably $200 or $300 cash equivalent of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably.
Not that all of it exactly translates, but it kind of does at times. I don't know. The gold was free from Wargaming for boxes. Thank you, Wargaming. The bonds I made playing the game.
Yeah.
Whatever. The silver I made playing the game. Everything else I made playing the game. So there you go. 6,000 this morning, Muskrat. Thank you.
The only real money you probably spent is well, probably nothing, because, as you say, the gold came from Wargaming.
Right. Yep. So the guys are saying there's about 6,500, 6,600, somewhere in between there. Very nice.
Oh, isn't it? Right, there you go.
Very nice.
So it's not that popular then, is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
It hasn't.
Did it sell out on EU? Any idea?
Do you know what? I've not checked. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I guess I could too. I could log into EU. All right, so I did that. Also, I bought Loza's Sherman.
Really? Did you now?
You know those
You see,
special?
that's 'cause, yeah.
You know those specials that show up on the bottom left, and it's like, hey, we got a special
yeah.
deal for you or whatever.
Yeah.
Check out your special deal. A lot of times it'll take you to the web page, and it's some BS. They want you to buy PRs or some crap like that.
Yeah.
This one took me into the store, and I had a 30% discount off of gold on this thing. And I'm like,
Right.
whatever, I don't have it. Sure, it was 2,800 gold or something like that.
Excuse me. Right,
So-
okay. So, again, it's gold that Wargaming give you, so
Yep.
why not? But and that's the collector thing about it. I mean, I've got, I think it's 4 Sherman variants, including the Brit one, I think. But I won't get any more Shermans because I've got the Shermans that I need. I've got the Firefly, I've got this, I've got that. It's just another Sherman variant, isn't it?
I should retire it because in 4 battles I'm averaging 1,700 damage,
Yeah, retire it now.
1,551 experience, and I'm 100% with 4 wins.
Do you want to know something, right? I was doing a little research this morning. You talking about how many battles you've got in that. There's a guy that wrote a bit of feedback for Wargaming. This is some years back. And he got in touch with Wargaming and said he loves the game. He'd been playing it for some time. He loves the game, but would it be possible to expand the number of tanks available? He said, because he plays it. So they looked into this and they saw his account. He's got 12,000 battles, and he only ever had 1 tank. He had the T1. He did not know you could research it, the lines, and get more tanks. So he did 12,000 battles in a T1. The Wargaming gifted him a tank. They gave him
Oh,
a tank
dude, that
for
is
it,
amazing.
Absolutely awesome.
That actually explains so much about a lot of the players in this game. Just the complete the amazing variety of people, what they know, what they don't know about the game. You know, when you get into a game and you're like, what is that guy doing? Just remember that guy, right? That's why, because some people just, they can be otherwise very intelligent people, but for whatever reason they just don't know.
They've just not connected. They
Yeah.
haven't looked at it, and they're
Yeah.
just not connected. They just go and play 12,000 battles.
Yep.
He's very good at tier 1.
That is amazing, dude. So what I did with the KPZ is again, under the idea that you might as well use them. These are all characters that were in the barracks, various crew members.
Oh, yeah. You're getting rid of all those extra...
So I actually put Duke. Duke's the commander. And then we got Colette Bugard, blah. We've got Catherine Sanders. We have Stefan. I won't even try that last name. And then we got Emil Keitel.
Right. So you got how many's in there? 4?
5 Pilgrim. And you know what?
5.
Actually, my little graphics in the way here. Do you know what?
So there's a radio operator then.
Yes, Pilgrim. Pilgrim. There's not a single German heavy with this setup.
No, there wouldn't be, would there? Why would there be? Absolutely.
Bloody freaking heck.
Yeah. That's mad.
That angered me.
That is
It made me a little angry.
Have you looked at all your German tanks and checked?
Every morning I get up, Pilgrim. I log in, and I go to Germany, and I look at all of them. Look at them all. I make a big pile of German tanks, and like Smog, I lay on them at night. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
All kidding aside, what was the question?
I can't remember.
Oh, I mean,
No.
what you were saying is, did I check it?
Yeah, have you checked the
I look.
German tank?
I
that
did.
has
I
a
did.
crew?
I did like from tier 6 to 10,
Right.
and I went through. Oops, German tanks. And I went through the big ones that
Yeah, all
I
four.
figured
I'm
would
just
be.
checking mine.
Yeah, man. So you got so the kicker is the radio operator thing, which is always the kicker.
Yeah.
There are some German tanks with 2 loaders, but what's interesting is where the radio operator lives. For example, the E100 has its own radio operator, whereas the 07, the radio operator is the commander. So that's what you're looking for. First of all, you've got to have a radio operator that's a commander, and they got none. They done got none. There's no such thing in German tanks. Because remember, the German tanks are all kind of World War II designs.
Yeah.
Other than some of the mediums and things when you get into the just after World War
But
II
it's got to be
thing.
it's got to be the right class of tank as well, isn't it? So
Got to be heavy, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So you couldn't. I mean, apart from faffing around with gold, you'd have to retrain them into mediums or something.
Right.
So you're stuck with it, really, aren't you?
Yep. So that crew
crazy.
can't. In fact, I don't even know. Are there any? There are some 4-person crews. I think maybe like.
Well, there is. They tend to have 6 or 4.
The Germans have the Germans. 2, 3. Germans almost all have 5 or 6. In fact, I don't think
5 or 6,
I don't think they have a heavy with 4 crewmen.
1, 2,
I'm pretty sure they don't.
5. Yeah, the mouse is 6. He's 75.
Yeah, they don't have a crew with
6.
4.
Yeah, they're all,
not
they're
not
all
in the
big
heavy.
crews, aren't they?
So they're 5 or 6. But anyway, that one is completely different than all the rest. Which one of these things is not like the other?
Good old war game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
we give you you've bought a crew trainer, have you? Not really.
not really. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep. Are there mediums set up like that, Bonzi?
Might
be.
Yeah, there might be.
Cliffy put
But
all
then
his
the
German-
thing is, like you said, like Banzai said, they did take a medium and make it a heavy because actually it was classed as a medium, wasn't it?
Was
There
it?
you go, that's why they got it wrong. Yeah, it was a medium. It was a medium tank, classed as a medium tank.
Well, that's a good point. It's a Leopard prototype of some kind, right?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Is it really? Versus
If you look at the history to it,
0 series Leopards.
yeah. Brilliant, isn't it?
Main requirements. Yeah. So I don't know. They sort of. I guess this one was too heavy, so it wasn't quite a leopard. It was a heavier prototype leopard. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I mean I think Cliffy that and the leopards. Those are all the precursors to the MBTs,
Yeah.
the Centurion, all that stuff. Okie dokie. What else? We're almost done with we're 30 minutes in. We're almost done with channel news, I think.
If just as an aside, because we're talking about tanks, there's a little thing about the Conquerors that it might be a fact that people don't know, but the Conquerors have got, now I don't know if it's in game. I must look in game. They've got thicker rear turret armor than they have frontal armor, because in real life, to balance the gun, they actually put a block of concrete in the rear of the
Oh,
turret.
right, really?
So, but in game, I think it's classed as armor. I think I haven't checked it out, but it might be worth checking out to see if you look at the armor profile of the turret of a Conqueror, the rear. Imagine going hull down rear with your rear of your tank facing the hull down position, but it's actually thicker. I think it's 200 mil or something like that, more than or 200 mil rear turret armor. But worth checking that out anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you might check that
Interesting.
out.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Last things last for the channel news. We are approaching the 100 battles on a good portion of the tanks I've been working on. We got the Foch B at 85. Will I make
Glad
it?
to see that one go.
Will I make it above 50% before 100? Don't know. Not surprising considering my average XP is as low as it is at 783 at tier 10. That's not good. The Sturv, I'm clawing, attempting to hold 50%. TNH doing pretty well. Horitu is a pretty good tank. Chrysler GF, that's a monster. The Char, actually, I'm starting to get better at. So I'm
okay.
at 58%. The FV is on hold because I've maxed its points. So I got to wait till the next battle pass. And then the rest of them are creeping up. We've got, where is it? We've got the, where's the 5-1? Did I bring that one above? There it is. So Centurion 5-1 at 60%.
Right.
And so doing all right with those. All right, man. Are we ready?
I think I've asked you this question before, Guido, but I can't remember the answer now. Once your 100 battle challenge is done, what's next?
1,000 battle challenge.
No, I can't be 1,000 battle. No, you'd be Manticore would be all right. You could do it in that.
Well, the Manticore is on his own special. The Manticore is on his own special ride.
Yep.
He is attempting to crawl up the most played list. So
there you go.
the next target, and it's a long ways away, is 402 battles to pass the MT25. But slowly but surely, I play the Manticore just about every session, at least once.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, once or twice.
Yep. So it has its own special challenge.
It's a special line. With
Plus, I just enjoy playing. I just enjoy the hell out of playing it. So it's just that's my fun tank. If I want to have fun in the game, then I grab the Manticore.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
Yeah, the marking fetish. I don't know. I might at some point. It's very frustrating though. It's very frustrating, and since it doesn't come easy, I don't want to do it.
Who wants to do anything that's difficult? It's a game.
I want to slide the difficulty slider down to easy.
To easy.
I want it down to easy. All right.
I do that with all my games.
Oh, anytime it asks me. Anytime it asks me. What level do you want? Frickin' easy.
Yeah, I want people when I'm running around with a sword and a war
Oh, yeah.
I want everybody just to die.
I want to just smash him, and then the hardest boss, I want to think, oh, he's sort of hard, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
But that's it. Yeah.
Two-mark, yeah. I have two-marked a
two-mark.
good portion of the tanks I've played. I had a lot of 3-marks early on, but it's become much more competitive as people are like really getting on board of the 3-mark.
Yeah. People have understood how to
requirements.
not play the system, but how to get it, how to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Requirements for 3-marking 2 years ago or so were, I feel like they were just generally lower.
Yeah, I think they were. I think definitely were.
Yeah, at some point I need to try to figure out a 3-mark on a tier 9, and then maybe a A tiered. Yeah, see, skill does the 100% thing. Yep, that's a whole nother level, man. Whole nother level.
It is, isn't it?
All right, ready to shill?
Yeah, let's do that. Where's my light? There it is.
Let's bring it
They're not
on.
special.
Bring
Here
it
we
on.
go.
Well, what do we
Wow.
got actually for sale? Boom. Ooh, that didn't work. Hold on. That was
Old
set up.
horses.
That was set up for. Where the hell did it go? That was set up for my garage shuffle, I believe. There we go. Zinc. There we go. All right. So, what do we got in the shop? We have
Yeah, top of the tree
featured.
stuff.
Well, I still got to drag this out a little bit more. There we go. Is that? What the? Come on! Oh, this is driving me crazy. Do I really have to lift from? I do. Son of a. All right.
Okay. We're there.
I'm talking to myself. All right. We have top of the tree boosts. Groovy. The Lorraine is in the shop, guys. The Lorraine.
It is.
$50.
Yeah, standard price really, isn't it? Around about $50.
Cromwell B's in the shop. One of you guys, who was it? I don't know if they're here, but they sent me a I'm going to feature on the game. It's a 7900, 7600 spotting game in their Cromwell
Really?
B. Yeah.
Oh, crikey.
Assist game.
Oh.
Crazy.
That's still good though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, absolutely. Especially in the Cromwell. I mean, I can understand how. I mean, the Cromwell B is one of those zippy little things that will get around the map quite well.
Absolutely. So I'm I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm interested to look at it. So we'll feature that. We've got the Alt Proto back out. It's a decent little medium, not bad. Be careful. This says $12, but it's the style. You see the little highlight around it.
Oh yeah.
You're not
see
getting
that?
the tank for $12.
No.
Some other various doodads. Remember, this treasure trove thing will get you one of the keys for the vault if you buy that.
Yeah. Keys that do something.
I guess you get more keys if you buy the bigger packages. Don't know. Not sure how that works. Anybody done that? APA Woody just bought it. Yep, that's right. It was Woody. It was Woody's replay. That's whose it was. Whose it was.
You see, that's the you've got it up on there. The gold. You seen the gold thing?
This thing, the bonus 15%.
Yeah. The bonus 15% for. 12.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
That's quite.
other than boxes that we're not going to have this year because they've been canceled.
Yeah. That's quite a deal, that really. 15% off.
Yeah, that's about as good a deal as it ever gets on gold, to be honest. And then you'll get a key too. I don't. Does it say on here if we?
Right. So 25,000 gold is £77, which if you just bought it without the discount.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
No, I don't think it's that good a.
Diablo,
Gold.
Diablo, we were totally kidding. We were just start the river. Start the river.
No, Diablo,
Boxes are canceled. We were kidding around.
Yeah, they haven't got enough pixels to make the boxes, so they've just got the stuff, but they can't get it out, Diablo. It's got to go in Santa's sack, which is not big enough.
We were kidding that it's August, and you know how people start speculating about it early. We just want to get really early.
Yeah. If you do 25,000 gold in any amount of gold, it comes out at the same price. So they must apply the discount price after the fact.
No, they're just adding 15% extra gold on top.
Oh, gotcha. Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
so you're paying for the
Yeah.
25,000 as you ever did. They're giving you 15.
As you normally would.
Yeah, they're giving you 15% more gold on top of it,
Right. Okay.
and 10% for lesser amount, and then 5% for 508. I mean, it's
Right.
as far as buying gold, that's about as good a deal as they do.
Yeah.
Oops, that's not what I want.
Oh yeah, it shows up. If you put the 25,000 gold in, same price, but then it says plus any amount of gold, 3,750.
There you
So
go.
you get another. Yeah, there you go. You get
Yep.
15%. Got you. Cool. Okay.
Pilgronomics. Pilgronomics.
Pilgronomics. There you go.
For specials,
Sell the
the
gold
same
and get
tanks.
silver.
That's right. Buy your gold and convert it to silver. Pilgronomics.
That's the one.
T25 Pilot Collector's Gem. Yeah, I don't know if I would buy that.
I don't know. I don't know if it is, though.
I don't know if I would buy that. These are all pretty much the same. Nothing new in here to mention. Battle Pass vehicles. Let's see if there's anything else going on here. These are all the same tanks. Then we get into the standard stuff. Here's the OG shovel tank.
Yeah.
And now you have a tier 10 shovel tank.
Yeah.
Is that spaced
Why not?
armor? Anybody know?
Well, there's a good point. Is it part of the hitbox? Or is it spaced armor?
I don't know. Let's find out. What is it?
Let's find out.
Tanks.gg. And then we go to the list. German. Tier 10. Heavy. Kampfpanzer 07 thing. Oops. 20 millimeters of spaced. Actually, there's this at that angle. It's 2, so it's this piece and then the follow-on piece. Look at that. If you're looking here, it's just the one piece. Now, why does it? Oh my gosh, are they not able to model it that way? What's going on with that? That's one piece. Oh, there's a dude right there. There's a guy. Impacted armor 5555. What? What the hell's going on? 55. Oh my gosh. All right. So at certain angles, when you're hitting that shovel, you're going through two pieces of spaced armor.
Yeah.
It's 20 millimeters, so interesting.
But I guess it's no worse than lower plate. Well, yes, no, it actually is a better lower plate. Effectively, it's a better lower plate. That's all it is.
Because it's a circle? Oh, I know why it is. You know, no, it's not a circle. You know what it is, Cliffy? It's the braces. At that angle, it's going through multiple braces. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. So it's going through the plate and then the braces, and the plate and the braces. And that's crazy. So that's a heat killer right there, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then this is what? That's a pretty good angle, actually. Yeah, so it's nicely angled. It's not very thick, but it is well angled.
I mean, any sort of side on, anything. I mean, it's as weak as anything, isn't it? It's going to get absolutely.
I was wondering why I was having so much trouble pinning one's turret, but because it's only 190, but because of the angulation, it's actually
a lot of bounces.
Yeah, man. I mean, it does flat plate a little bit right here by the matlet, and it looks like maybe under the matlet there's some weaker stuff too, right under there.
The cupolas are not showing as hit, are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, just there's one, and it's 100 millimeters, so it's not as gross as a lot of the German ones. It's not too bad, but it's certainly
it's not huge.
Certainly targetable.
But I mean, any sort of any presentation of the side is you're going to get penned by everything.
Swap to the heat. So you're saying the heat does a much better job? Oh yeah, look at that. Well, I mean, still, it can get through there, but that's still 280. So this heat's coming at it with 320. So anything at the 300 regime, which is most tier 10s with that have heat. Yeah. But not most. A good, especially like TDs and big heavies and stuff.
It will gator. It'll kill the gator.
It's angulation. Angulation, Bonzi. It's a very technical term. Very technical.
It's sort of on par with the little drawing you made of your sprinkler system.
Yes.
Isn't it? It's very technical.
Look, you don't just roll out of bed and come up with this without a bit
That's hours of work.
It takes a bit of training. It takes a little bit of training.
Yeah. You know when you used to fly your F-15s? It was F-15, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyways, and you've got like a knee pad you make little notes on.
Yeah.
Did you write like the wife's shopping list on there?
Absolutely.
Like that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wrote down how to start it
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You not get a key. Just go.
because I forgot how to do it. Actually, interestingly enough, the newer ones are more or less a one button push start.
No, like keyless entry and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Just go in and press. As long as
So,
you've got the key in your pocket.
Because of the digital age and the ability of the computer to do it, a lot of the newer 5th gen or more or less.
Does it make that noise when you're in the cockpit with your headphones on? Does it go?
No. So in the 15, you had to pull the JFS, jet fuel starter. You pull it out.
Yes.
That starts the third jet motor on the airplane is a little called a JFS, or APU is the commercial version.
Something to kickstart the big one.
Right. So it starts up, and it's a little jet engine. It's doing its thing, and then it will attach to the gearbox. And then in the 15, on the throttles, they have throttle lifts, which you use to take it out of idle and put it into off. So so you can't just pull it back and turn off your engine. You have to physically pull up the lift and pull the throttle to off. So it's in off.
What's that? That cuts the fuel off.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's in off. You bring it forward. I can't remember. Did you lift? Jet fuel lift.
Oprah
Yeah.
is ripping into you right now at the moment in chat. Apparently, you made notes about Brute on your little knee pad.
Fingerless.
Finger lifts.
Oh, do you have a do you have a freaking grade sheet for me? That's hilarious. Were you bad, or was I bad? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't remember. Brute, was it? Did you lift and then put it into idle, or did you put it in idle and then lift? I think it's lift. Engaging number 1.
See, it's muscle
Idle.
memory these days, isn't it? If you were in the cockpit, you could do it. It's
You actually
muscle
did number 2 first in the Eagle, because that's the opposite side that the crew chief was on.
memory. Right.
The number 2's on the right side. I think you lifted and pushed it into idle, as I recall. But anyway,
you got dual throttle. You got the dual throttle.
What's funny is I fly that sim every day, but we don't start. We initialize in the air, and we don't never worry about it. It's been a long time since I really thought about it.
Yeah, no, it is muscle memory.
But I think so. It's a
if you were in the cockpit, you'd just do it, wouldn't you?
it's a multi-step. It's a multi-step deal with the older
Right.
jets.
Right.
Lots of shit you're doing and watching.
So coming back to my original question, you don't just put the key in and go and it starts.
I thought I explained it. You pull the handle.
Yeah, yeah. I've got no idea. I mean, it's not like a car, is it?
Right, the finger lift engaged the JFS to the God dang it.
Doobly Firkin.
Yeah, the Doobity for basically the central gearbox. Yeah, there you go, central gearbox.
Right, there you go.
So it would start turning the engine, and then you get ignition because you're getting electricity because the engine generator's turning, and then the fuel gets put in there, and then it goes. That's how it works.
So it's self. Am I right with jet engines, or this is Ram Air jet engines, but it's self-perpetuating. So
as long as you've got fire, air, and spark, it's fire, air, and spark. That's what you need.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. So anyway.
Fire.
Sorry, make jetty engine noises. Yes.
Or I said fire. As long as you have fuel, air, and spark, not fire, air, and spark. Fuel, air, and spark. Then you've got your engine doing its thing.
But you would have to. So there's no like switching off. It's cutting the fuel off. You remove one of the three.
You've got fuel shut off.
Because it will, if you've still got fuel going in, it'll without ignition, it'll still burn. It'll still continue to burn.
If there's no ignition, the fuel's just going to dump in there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if there's no spark, if you're not lighting the fuel, it's
okay.
Yeah. All right. Where the hell were we?
I don't know.
Oh, we were on missions and specials.
We were.
The YouTube sub milestone went by, but I didn't. I think all the codes are done. Anybody win anything from that?
No. True Banzai? No. Didn't get a diddly squat.
Yeah, when you turn off your car, you're turning off your ignition and your fuel. So that's the double whammy.
Yeah. I get confused with like Ram Air jet engines because the forced air.
But it's not. But that, I mean, that's not exactly what's going on. The jet is running on the
Ramjet.
ground. Well, that's a different jet.
Oh,
Or a
God.
high bypass or even low bypass engine. It just sucks the air in. You've got the turbines in the front and it's pulling the air
Yes.
in.
Yeah.
You don't have to be
That's-
moving.
All right.
Yeah, you
Okay,
don't.
cool.
Yeah, ramjet's a different thing. That's
Okay.
using the air being rammed in to compress it.
And I've just bought a motorcycle, said Banza. I know.
I mean, a ramjet's essentially like what your piston's doing, right? The piston
Yes,
comes up
yes, I get it.
and compresses the air.
Yeah.
Because you're going fast, a ramjet will use that to compress the air so that it
Yeah.
has more oxygen
That's
to
the
light.
self-perpetuation that I'm on about. It's like you're using your forward momentum to give you extra
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got to get that forward momentum to begin with before that
Gotcha. All right.
sort of works. Let's see. We've got Treasure Trove. Oh, man, you know what? I forgot all about this thing. I hope you guys have been doing this, but this... Where is this stupid thing? Treasure Trove's one thing. Where is it? This thing. Draw your rewards. So it's on the main page, guys. I don't know if you've seen this, but this right here article will take you to this page. And if you slide down here, I've already grabbed that. Well, it won't let me do it. But you just pick 5 random things. You've seen this mechanic on the webpage before. And it gives you a code, and you go to the code thing, and it gives you stuff. So don't forget, this is the last day, I believe. And these were all the things here that you could have got. It was actually worth doing. I completely forgot for like 2 days.
Yeah, I haven't. That's the thing. I forgot about it all completely,
Yeah.
really.
Yep.
So yeah, I to be honest, I like doing these sort of things. I don't know why I didn't pick up on it, because I do quite like doing these sort of things. You know, it's
Yeah.
just a little achievement each time you're doing it. But yeah,
It says it refreshes, but I don't think it's going to because it only goes to the 7th at 1600 UTC. Well, it might. You might be able to sneak one more in the morning. I'd have to do math on that. I'm not sure if we have enough time, but 1600 UTC is about 10 in the morning. And it's currently 8. I don't know. That's close. I don't think it is. I don't think that's enough time for me to get another one. But go to that page and get your goodies if you haven't been doing it. That's what I'm trying to say there, my friends. Treasure Trove, that's the thing we've been talking about a couple weeks. You can get that here on this slider. Click on that. I don't have any more keys. I could invite a friend or buy the special Treasure Trove bundle, and then you got the weeklies. Research at tier 5. Can't do it because I don't have any research. I'm not going to add a bank card. Upgrade to Watt Premium or extend your days of Watt Premium. I guess if you bought a day, you could get a key if you want to give it a shot. There are some tier 8 premiums you can get out of this. I read a guy in the forum got 2 tier 8 premiums.
really,
Yeah.
what? Just by extending by a day? How did he do that?
I think if you go buy 1 day of premium,
We get the
you
opportunity.
should get the key. Can you do it for gold? Will that work? Hold on, let's check this out. Anybody know? If you'd buy a day for gold, you get a key. It looks like Gator's already figured that out. What do I do?
Buy 1 day for gold.
Where's my here?
200. Yeah, I did it.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, okay, it works.
purchase 1 day of premium, wasting 250 gold. What did I get for my 250 gold? Is this going to update, or do I have to do one of these things like this right here? Oh, there we go. Here we go, guys. You ready? I could change my password, but I don't want to do that. Maybe I should anyway. Oh, Bill got tank and 500 gold. Nice.
Cool.
Very nice. Zemke, thanks, man. All right, open the vault. Here we go. Tank. Give me some gold. Come on. No. PR.
No.
Rat bastard. All right. So that's done that. And then play 10 battles. I should do this, actually. Right now, I don't think I have a Japanese vehicle. I might have one that's not 100 battles. How would I find out? It would take a little while to figure that out. Oh, the Giro and the... Wait. I've played a mess of games in the Hori 2. How come I haven't got my stupid... Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, hold the horse.
Wait, play 10 battles with a tier 4 plus. Top 10, only random. What?
See, I've just bought a day of gold and nothing's happened. I've got nothing.
Refresh the page. Oh. No, you gotta click on this thing, man. You gotta go to the vault, dude. You gotta vault it up.
Vault?
You gotta vault.
I can't get there. Where's that? In the depot?
I'm glad you weren't listening to me. Go to the page. The main page like this. Yeah?
What main page?
This. The website. Go to the website.
You mean the website?
You gotta go to the website, my friend.
Oh,
you gotta.
man.
Oh yeah, this is a multi-step. This is wargaming, dude. We have 14 different ways to do stuff.
So it's not in the UI.
No, sir.
So
no,
right.
sir.
So games. Oh my gosh, game website.
Go to the banner here and cycle through to the second one till you get to access the treasure trove. Whoosh, click on that, and you got the vault. And if you haven't done this, you probably have multiple keys, my friend. Depending on how much you played.
The top of the tree, battle pass, merging, what? Choose new token store. Access the treasure trove.
There you go. There you go. How many keys you got?
On that? I don't know. I haven't even done it yet.
Well, look at.
Click to open the vault.
Yeah, but look at down below there where it says your access keys. What's that little number there?
Look at that.
How many do you have?
3.
Oh.
That's all.
Yeah, you've hardly done any of them.
What? No. One day of premium. Woo.
Okay, good.
Open the vault again.
Tank.
Tank. Did
you get one?
50% XP. No, here we go. Open the vault again.
Tank.
Tank.
No.
A style.
Oh.
A style. Alright, okay, that's me done then. I'm not doing that anymore.
Gator, I have to. Let's go find out. Where's the one? This one, tomato.gg will show tanks, I believe. Go to my. Alright, there's my stuff. If I go to tanks, and we'll go to, let's call it 7 days. The last 7 days, I've played the. Ooh, I guess I haven't played it 10 times. That surprises me. Wait a minute. No, Hori 2. Oh, I'm 1 away, guys. I'm 1 away.
1.
Yep, 1 away.
Play a quick battle now then. You should play one more game now.
1 away. 1 away. I'm going to do that. I'll do that later today. All right. What else we got? We're still on missions and specials. So go to the treasure trove. I don't know if the YouTube sub things are working anymore. I doubt it. Don't forget your token store, guys. Once again, for those of you who may not know, you're going to go here. By the way, I already said thank you to Zemke. Never mind. Go here, go to the token store, and get your stuff. Don't forget that. Although that's the Twitch drops campaign, so that's going on for a while. You're not in danger of losing it anytime soon. Batchat 25T 110E4 is on special. So we go to missions here. You'll notice that you've got that going on, and there's nothing else really in here. There are Steel Hunter missions, guys. You can get stuff playing Steel Hunter. That's ongoing right now. I think that's it for here.
It is.
Treasure.
Pig wants to know the KPZ is sold out. I don't think it has yet, Pig.
No, we just asked. There's 6,500 odd left on NA. I don't know what EU is. If somebody put it in there, I missed it in the chat. So there's plenty there if you want. All right, man. So have we been at this for an hour yet? Yep. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we're going to come back with subjects du jour. Don't leave, because there's actually some good stuff, guys. Very, very interesting news, potentially. It's rumors. We're also going to talk about the roadmap that they put out and some other new stuff that's coming up. But one really juicy rumor, I don't know if it's necessarily true, but we'll talk about it when we get back. So give us 5 minutes, guys.
5.
Guido is his name. shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name.
We'll have a look and see how many of those tanks are left on there as well.
All right, we are back. We are back. Subjects du jour. Subject number 1. Ha! Greasy fingers. Stealing the thunder. We'll get to that, though. We'll get to that. G-Swords are in the wild. We saw one yesterday on one of the...
Yeah,
on
you were
one of the,
saying.
Yeah. One of the
Just for the CCs at the moment, is it?
super testers. So if you see a press account, I mean, it could be somebody, it could be just somebody using a press account, like the press, right? If they're given an account to somebody to play the game or to,
Got you.
to do an article or to promote it or whatever. Or it could be one of the CCs, because that's how we do it now, apparently. They put the tanks on a press account, and then we make content. Which I've discussed several times. I am not doing it that way, because that is how you treat employees. And as you are not paying me to be an employee, I'm not going to be.
Exactly. You're doing it. You're doing it for your own good, your own time. You know what I mean?
Well, you're doing that anyway as a CC,
Yeah.
but it's just it's gone into this realm of treating us a bit like employees. I'm not saying exactly like, but far enough that it's annoying to me, and it ain't happening.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's why, fellas, there's no content for me on the KPZ, and in fact, the last couple tanks, there's been no content from me, because I have every single tank they've given me for the last 5 or 6 years, I've done content on.
Yeah.
I think the beef is that there are some people in the program who will get stuff and they won't do really any necessarily content on them.
Right.
And that's kind of baked into the system, because there are people who are CCs who they don't really do that kind of content. They have other things they do to promote the game.
Okay.
So, and that's completely fair enough. Now, they have to decide how they're going to distribute content, and they have to decide whether it's worth it to them to give it to people. That is completely their... I mean, I'm going to use the word right. That's not really what I'm saying. I mean, that makes sense. It's their business, so that they decide how it goes.
Yeah.
And if they want to make a process, they can completely make the process they want. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is the process is too many hoops and feels too much like I'm being treated like an employee. So
Yeah.
for me personally, that's why that's happening.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's absolutely
I
fine
mean,
because it applies. The thing applies. You're free to choose as much as Wargaming is free to do what they want to do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and
you're doing it
maybe-
because you like doing it, and that's it.
Yeah, maybe I'm being a prissy little bee. I don't know.
No, not at all.
And you know what? I also reserve the right to change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you feel like it.
You duplicitous little.
Before we go any further, I'll have a quick look at EU and see how many. Wow, there are still 8,430 KP07Ps left.
There you go,
Wow.
Caduceus. 8,000 something on EU,
430,
6,000.
over 8,000.
Yeah, 6,500 ish on NA. Yeah, so G-Source in the Wild is how we got off on that rant. So that is my understanding. Those are coming in the next patch. Although I haven't seen a common test yet for that patch, so I don't know.
Okay.
Who knows when that is? I don't have a date or a speculative date. Watt's 13th birthday, guys, is going to start on the 10th and go to the 21st. So there's speculation on that. It's a tier 5 French light tank, is my understanding.
Yes. Yeah, that's I understand
Yeah.
that's going to be the one. But their birthday is the 12th. So when you look back at it in the history, they actually rolled the game out on something like the 10th to the 12th. So over a couple of days, they rolled it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it wasn't like Flashbang 12th. It was rolled out over a couple of days, maybe. I can't remember. But it was probably done sort of like a few hours one day, a few hours the next day, just to gauge the reaction. Because I can't remember the owner's name now, but they actually ran out of money before they launched. The whole company had
really?
no money left whatsoever. They were absolutely brassic. In fact, who's the owner, the CEO? I can't remember anyway. But he had to go and borrow money off his mother just to get it launched, with the hope that it was going to be successful.
Yeah.
Now it turns $1.4 billion a year.
Yeah.
Turns over.
That's crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a great design.
Yeah.
I mean, the genius of it, PvP, hardcore PvP without hit point recoup.
Yeah.
Mistakes mattered. Tactical in nature, but also a shooter. I mean, it just worked, obviously.
Yeah. No respawns, all that.
No respawns. I mean,
Yeah.
it was awesome. It is still awesome. I do enjoy it. All right, so that's coming up. Don't forget your anniversary card mechanic. I talked about it. I guess I do have a date for 1.22. End of August, early September is the rumor I have on that. So end of August, early September on that. Japanese heavies. Let's grab the.
Yeah, let's
here.
do this because I'm quite interested. Because I've stopped. I mean, I've got the tier 10 Japanese heavy, but I don't play them at all. I think I'm about 5 games.
So these are changes here. It's the Type 63. This is the premium. Of course, that's the one they're going to start showing earlier, right? Because they're going to give it away, or it's going to maybe not give it away, but look at this space age thing on the gun. We'll talk about that in a minute. What's going on with that gun thing? Looks like some kind of rail gun or something. Yeesh. These are made up of out of whole cloth. I don't know what the what's the word? I don't know what the historical accuracy of these are, if any. Gun loading was increased. Wow. Aiming time was increased, so apparently it was too good. The cooling time was increased. Wow. And
Must have been well overpowered.
Yeah, I mean they hammered its DPM by 300. Yikes. Yeah. Okay. Let's slide down here and find this thing. Here's the codes. I don't know if you want to try it. Let's merge together. I don't know if they're still worth anything. It gives you a day of premium. Oh, don't want to show that. Here it is. All right, so the Type 63 Tier 8 Premium Japanese heavy tank, not a big box.
No,
Now,
not the Type 5 heavy, not with the battleship gun on it. No.
some
not
of these
that.
numbers have changed because you see the changes, and they're always subject to change until it comes out. Now, here's the weird, cool, different thing about this tank. It has, Pilgrim will love this, it has an X.
Oh, press a button to do
Press a
something
button.
else.
Yeah. Although, is that true?
What's it do? Turn into a box?
I don't think it has an X. I think it does. I think it does the hydraulics like your Udez does.
Oh, okay.
So I think you just have to be slow because that's why it's got the speed thing going on here. So you just have to be slow. So there's no X, but it will do the hydraulic thing like the STB does, like the Udez does, that kind of stuff. So that being said, it's a weird mechanic. What happens is there's two things going on. First of all, the siege mode thing. If you're slow enough, you'll go from -8 to -12. So you get that last
Right.
4 with that little
Right.
hydropneumatic
Yeah.
thing going
Yeah.
on.
The sushi tank. Yes, Titolini, the sushi tank.
The side elevation, I believe that means if it's looking to the side, it just goes to -10 because the pneumatics
Yeah,
is forward and back kind of thing, and it's -8 normally. But so you do get -10 off to the side. The cooling thing is really the big deal with this. So what happens, and this has been increased to 15 something seconds now. What happens is if you shoot, and I assume the first shot is automatically cooled, I guess, I don't know. Or maybe after loading you wait, I don't know how exactly that works, but if you wait the 13, now 15 seconds, you will get a more accurate gun from a .36 to a .27. So
26 to 27.
yeah, so notice
That's quite. It's not significantly greater, but it is good.
yeah, that's a pretty good boost, I would say, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's almost .10 is .9, right?
Yeah.
Math in public.
Yeah.
Now notice that's longer than the reload of 10 seconds, now boosted to whatever it was, 12 or something like that. So it's another 3 seconds to wait for it to cool, and then you get the more accurate gun. So your DPM goes down, but your accuracy goes up.
See, in game, I just wonder whether that mechanic would be used a lot because, for the sake of that accuracy, people are just going to fire the gun anyway. I think personally.
Well, if you're sniping, and
Well, if you're sniping, yeah, there's a big difference.
and you don't
If you're-
immediately have to shoot, then you wait another 3 seconds and you get a much more accurate gun.
Yeah, but I think if you're face hugging or if you're, if you're peeking and poking and doing that sort of stuff, I think you're just going to black the gun, irrespective of that.
I mean, ultimately, what it's sort of like is it takes longer to zoom in. So what it'll do is the dispersion will come down to .36 and stop, and then you'll wait 3 seconds and it'll dive in. Now I don't know if it dives all the way in or if there's also some time for it to go.
Okay.
I think it automatically drops to .27,
Well,
but
that would be yes, because that would make sense because then it gives you a visual indication that you're ready to fire.
well, it says there's a
If you're
visual
having to do
indication.
the slow drift in.
It says there's
Do you
a
know what
visual. It says it's there, but what I don't know is if it just pops or if it's
Pops.
or if it has the same
I hope it
mechanic of
pops.
getting more accurate over time. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the player can shoot immediately after reloading without waiting for the spread to improve if they need to deal damage quickly. Hydrogen cooling system allows you to choose between high damage. So that there you go. The little catch on this tank or this line is that if you wait a little longer for the gun to cool, then you have a more accurate gun.
Which I get. People are saying, "Yay, more heavy tank sniping." That's brilliant.
That's what we
There you
need.
go.
Yeah. It's got a 360 alpha gun.
Oh, fair enough.
230.
I mean, this is subject to change, though. It's still, yeah.
230 standard pen. That is up there.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Yep. 290. Not great on the gold. Okay. So there you go. But the numbers have changed a little bit as we noted. All right. So that guy is lurking about. I don't know. Christmas or not sure. Not sure when that thing's gonna
Possibly,
come out.
yeah, possibly, or a marathon coming up.
Okay. You ready for the big rumor? Should we go with the big rumor?
Should we go with the big rumor?
Yeah. How do I get out of this?
They didn't have enough pixels, Jimmy, for the loot boxes, so that's not happening this year.
Yeah. Oh, where'd it go?
It is just a room because it's gone.
That's right. It's been. They were listening.
Yeah.
I think it's down here. What the? All right, hold on. This web page is weird sometimes. Sometimes you just have to reload it because it does feel like at times I might have not gone back far enough. That's probably what happened. I didn't go back far enough. All right, there we go. Boom. Check it out, guys. So this is a Watt Express leak. Rumor. Purposeful leak. I don't know. I can't tell with Wargaming what the hell they're doing with all their leaks and rumors and what's official and what's not. I have zero SA from Wargaming on this, which is why I can speculate on this particular third-party page. The question was asked. There was no answer given. What I don't know about this, is it RU only? Is it RU and the rest of the game? Because this is Watt Express. But they're talking about nerfing the strongest tanks. So, nerfing the strongest tier 10 tanks. Actually, we'll just read this. In the near future, the nerf of the Chieftain and the 279, as well as a number of other high-level pumpable tanks. I think that means just good tanks. Overpowered. Maybe researchable, yeah. We'll go for testing. If the audience eats it all...
Hey, love the translation.
All right, that's a translation, but that's actually pretty funny. If you think about it, that's an apropos. That is an apropos translation. Eat it, stupid players. Eat this. So if we eat it and it's tasty, a sequel will follow. So that begs the question, fellas. What constitutes eating it? And what will happen if they don't eat it?
Yeah. Will it be a proposal initially, and they'll gauge the reaction?
Well, there's going to be a firestorm, and the question will be for Wargaming: are they able to look at their game and go, "No, for the health of the game, this is going to happen"? The history is that they have caved almost every time.
Yes, they have, haven't they?
So this will have a lot to do with how they package it, what their player-facing PR act is going to be.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. So Wargaming. Wait a minute. Maybe I answered my own question. Did I not read it long enough? Wargaming does it. Whether Lesta will take it for herself or additionally nerf these tanks is. There you go. All right. So this seems to indicate that this is a Wargaming initiative, and Lesta may or may not do it. There's a lot of what ifs. Wargaming may or may not do it. Silver, thanks for the sub, man. Much appreciated.
Yeah, it does. It depends very much where, like Banzai say, where the dollar falls, isn't it? Well, I know. It's popcorn time, isn't it?
Oh, man, start popping. I haven't looked at Reddit. Has there already been a shite storm on Reddit?
I bet. I do. Let's check that now. That's a good point, Tutorlini. If they could somehow nerf it for standard games, for pubby games, but leave it non-nerfed when it enters into clan wars or whatever. But you could never do that, I suppose.
I see what you're getting at. My counter to that, Cheeto, is do we really want Clan Wars to continue to be all Chieftain 279 early meta?
That's true, yeah.
You know? Why not mix it up? Other games do that. They take their more overpowered stuff and they nerf it, and then something else rises to the top. And they do that on purpose so that it freshens it up. It's not necessarily to destroy someone's good tank or good character or whatever. It's to mix it up and let something else change the meta a little bit.
Or their next planned tank that is a reward tank.
Yeah.
You know, they'll do it so when that, you know.
That's the word I hear, Cliffy. People are pretty bored with it. Yeah, chief comp for years. So, you know, something else will rise to the top if you nerf the chief enough. Now, here's the other thing. They supposedly nerfed the 268-4. But it's still the number one tech tree.
Of course
TV.
it is. It's still very powerful, isn't it? You know, all right, they've got more hittable hitboxes, if you like, more hittable weak points. You know, you've got the two little things on the above the lights and all that sort of good stuff. But it's still, you can go face punch just like a heavy tank. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, Cheeto. I mean, it would certainly be a compromise. There's no good. I think the point of that we've come to, at least in my opinion, right, because it's gone so far, it's just there's no good answer.
Yeah.
They let it fester for so long. They had no track record of managing their balance well, or even at all for long periods of time. And every attempt has been kind of a stop and start and fits and whatnot. So whatever they do now is going to be the worst scab ripoff of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, you're right, Cheeto. I'm with you on that. Balance.
What's that?
I mean, we saw that yesterday on stream because, as we all know, a single stream is an indicator of everything. Even more so than a single game. But it's a lot of blowouts. It seems like.
See, Banzai, that's probably the golden goose. So I doubt very much whether they'll want to kill the golden goose by nerfing the premiums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's probably the step that they'll never take, to be honest.
Outbuilt, not outplayed.
Well, there is that building process, isn't there? You can build to improve your tank to beyond its capabilities as a regular tank, can't
Well, see, that's so there's the elephant in the room as well. That's a good point, and it's something the CCs do bring up a lot as they discuss that, because it's not just a case of, maybe it is a case of if a tank's just overpowered, it is overpowered, but then you have levels of builds that you can toss on top. But I think we can all agree, if we just look at something like, say, let's just look at tier 8 for a minute, because tier 8 really just shows it. We go to tanks by stat, and we come here to, they've changed this again. No longer has that drop down thing. Interesting. That was annoying how that worked, so I'm glad they did this. So tier 8 win rates. This is just all tier 8s, whether it's a premium light, premium light, all classes. I mean, look at this. These are all premiums. How far do we have to go before we get to, holy cow.
It's a long way. Yeah.
The Lorraine, 155.51 in win rate. Is the first tech tree is an Artie that shows up. Holy shit, that's crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it?
DPG.
But then that's how they've engineered the game, that the premium tier 8s are huge. The database or the quantity of tier 8s.
There's not even a tech tree. There's not even a tech tree tank in the first 50 if you go by DPG. Is it the same story for frags? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the RHM. The RHM enters the top 50. The RHM has entered the conversation at 48.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another point, isn't it? Banzai makes the tankers keep the tier 8 after moving to the. A lot of people sell the tier 8. Well, that's how they do it. They get rid of the tier 8 to get the tier 9.
I think
you're right.
I think at this point, the whole balance subject, because of the sheer number of tanks and how out of control it is, the only thing they're going to be able to do with balance is cosmetic stuff. Right now, the largest angsty bit about it is things like the 279 early in the Chieftain, and I'm guilty of that as well. But it's across the entire board of the game, and I don't think you're able to just take all the top 10 premiums and just nerf them. Like how would that work? How would you do that? There's so many tanks.
Just think it's an impossible task.
Right. I think that's my point. Yeah, I think it's
long,
yeah. I think it's an impossible task, and it may turn into a big yo-yo thing if they get too crazy.
Yeah.
The only way, in my opinion, that you could do that is you would have to do incremental changes to just instead of a nerf, just kind of carve them a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little slower, take a little DPM off of them, or I don't know. That's another problem.
This is not working as intended. I mean that's a good point as well. Is that they've actually introduced a subclass of tanks within the classes of tanks that are performing way better. So they've got the wheelies that are coming in under the guise of the light tanks, notwithstanding the new British wheeled tank, and then the auto loaders. That's created a subclass, which has thrown the game out of balance. That's what's done it. That sort of stuff.
Well, the auto loaders is probably an underappreciated problem in terms of why there are turbo battles. The Rompel stomps, because a couple 3-4 auto loaders catching a couple tanks out early and just absolutely nuking them can change the dynamics of a game and map within
the game completely. It starts the roll off, doesn't it? It starts the rolling loss. So you lose 3 or 4 tanks in the first 5 minutes. That's it. It starts to just snowball then.
Yep, and you run into that relatively fast autoloader with a buddy or two. You're gone. The guy that came with you is gone. All of a sudden, they're up 3 tanks, and it's like, oh boy, here we go.
Yep. It's funny how I haven't really noticed it a great deal until sort of this year, if you like. But you can, and maybe it's because I've been playing with you a little bit. But you can almost within 5 minutes of the battle, you can see it's going to be a loss. Sometimes even before that, even though you stay positive and you do what you can could sort of see it happening. You go and.
I would say 5 minutes is long, because most battles are more or less sorted by 5 minutes.
More or less over. Yeah, exactly. You can see. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess it comes with experience of playing the game, but it's so amazing. You can sort of you can go off to your deployed place where you want to go. You can look at the minimap and go, crikey, we're losing this right now, and I've only just gotten position. And many times I thought this is a lost battle.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be negative. You want to try and do your thing. And
it's not always. It doesn't always turn out that exactly.
No,
but you do. You can see it going, and the only time it doesn't go that way is if you're able to put your carry pants on, or somebody else on the team is able to do something significant to change the course, and that happens once in a while. I would say it's not as often as you look at it with 2 minutes in and go, well, we're down 5 tanks. This is going to be a tough row to hoe. I'm going to try. I'm doing best. A good example was yesterday, my Iron Arnie game that I was able to bring back from the brink. I was pissing and moaning about how it was a loss. 3 or 4 minutes into it, and I just I kept playing, kept trying. That happens less than. You just getting rolled over because it's 10-2, and you're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I can do with this.
Like Banzai said there, as soon as you make it to your flank, you can see the other flank's gone. You're like, well, there you go. And a prime example of that is the Lakefield map. If you go to the Valley of the Noobs and you sit there and you look across and the town's gone, you think, oh, well, that's a loss then.
Yeah.
Because immediately you've got to look both ways. You've got to look over the Valley of the Noobs, and you've got to watch your back all the time.
Yeah, the game durations haven't changed. I think my real question, though, Cliffy, is have the end results changed? And my feeling is they have, but that's probably, I don't know. They probably haven't, actually, if you look at it. But I'm kind of curious if in the last year or so, if blowouts have increased. I don't know.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
It does, but I have zero to prove it. And if someone crunched the numbers, I would not be surprised in any way if they found out that no, not really. It's not really happening that way.
Stats are stats, and you can massage them how you like. But it's if you're playing the game as much as all of us do. If you've got 30, 40, 50, 60,000 battles, you get a feeling for the game.
You do, yeah.
And like Oathkeeper said, within 60 seconds of deployment, you can generally say to yourself, "This is not going to go well," or "Wow, this is a good deployment. We're going to do something here."
Yeah, if you have a bad deployment, then you're hoping the enemy does an equally bad or similarly bad, or they just play much worse. And that's what's so cool about the game, is you kind of watch how that happens. Also, your reaction to a bad deployment matters too. If you press a bad decision with more bad decisions, then you're probably going to have a bad outcome. There's a million other questions though. Am I in a tank that can really even react to the bad
No, well, that's
deployment.
the other thing.
You know,
If you're in something that you can't react to what's going on in the battlefield, then you're sort of stuck where you are, aren't you?
what map and mode is it? Where can I get to? Where can I fight from? How can I react to the bad deployment? Am I recognizing it correctly anyway?
Yeah.
You know, was it not really a bad deployment? I just not kind of recognizing what's going on. You can overload a flank with a lemming train and have a pretty good result. That might look
Yeah,
like
you can get it right.
it might look
Yeah.
like a bad deployment, but the team is working together. But you got to try to assess the match as all of that goes.
I think there's certain things. I mean, there's a lot of chat about that, but there's certain things that are true in the game that work. I would want to say nearly every time, but
Well, there's
certainly
high percentage
large
plays.
percentage of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like basketball or football. If we've talked about this before. If you want every play to be a Hail Mary, maybe a couple games you have pretty big games, but those are low percentage plays. So you got to have a mix of good plays. You want to generally make your highest percentage play.
Yeah.
But there's all the others, and Pig. That's interesting you say that, because I find myself, especially in long sessions, you sort of get apathetic about what's going on, and I'll find myself doing this just autopilot to the same place on the map all the time.
Sure.
And then I'll look at the map and go, well, shit, that's dumb. I didn't even notice this deployment. It's because I just lost attention, lost SA.
Yeah.
And metas, yep. So Cliffy makes a good point there as well. Metas matter. It's kind of like
Well, they do matter. Yeah.
it's kind of like people saying, "Oh, that's a stereotype. You can't stereotype." Like, yes, you can actually.
Yeah.
A stereotype isn't built on out of thin air.
No.
Like, oh, you can't stereotype me. Well, yeah, but actually, I can. Not you necessarily individually, but as a group. It's how humans
As a group, yeah.
assess
or as
things,
a dynamic,
right?
You can stereotype a dynamic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you can look at the metas and go, well, this team is not playing this map according to the meta. So that right off the bat, I'm already looking at a harder game to win.
Yes, exactly that.
It's going to be a harder match to win.
The maps and the games are designed to have metas. That it just leads to that effect. If you have a map and you have a deployment and a play style incorporated into the game, it will develop its own meta.
Yeah, I think the players develop the meta. The developers have an idea sometimes of what they think the meta should be. Sometimes those are congruent and similar. Other times they're nowhere near what the developers intended.
Yeah, you can see that from when Wargaming do the best ways to do the map videos, and you go, no, actually, that's not the best way.
Yeah.
But, crack on with it.
I mean, sometimes they're right, and
Yeah,
when you design something, you don't want to just design randomly. So you want to design with an intended result, but they don't always get it right. The problem is you hand it over to tens of thousands of gamers, and they take your product and they figure out where the best places to go are, and you may not have realized, based on the tanks that are in the game and all the various things and the way the game is played, you may not even realize that was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, you're quite. This thing Oathkeeper said, if the teams are playing a map per a certain meta, you kind of have to go with that. I think you do. I think if you recognise the meta for a map, if you put yourself out of position, then you're either going to be an outlier, or you're just going to be not contributing at all to what's happening on the map. And I think when we come back to the apathy point, if you do a 3 or 4 hour session, you can get to the point where you just go, I just can't be bothered with this.
Yeah.
Mentally, you're not consciously doing it, but subconsciously your brain's just going, oh, here we go.
Yep.
My background is always organised, Mr. Stranger Danger. Always organised.
Organization is
not
his middle
class.
name. All right. So that's the big rumor. That was quite the discussion. We'll see what comes of it, guys. I mean, supposedly they're looking at potentially maybe kind of sideways glance at nerfing the 279 early and the Chieftain. We'll see what those look like, if that's even a thing.
Yeah.
I think the hubbub around it's going to be the most entertaining part of it.
Mr. Stranger Danger has some French press coffee.
Oh,
Good on him.
nice. Nice. All right, Bonzi is calling it early. He says it won't happen.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of pressure. There'll be a lot of pressure to not have it happen.
What do you guys think? Type it in chat. What do I think? What do you think, Pilgrim? Let me don't
do-
don't say it.
what I
Don't
think.
don't say
I-
it. I'm having to think. I want to think about this for a second. Do I
You
think
think about it.
do I
You
think it's
about it
going to
while I play
happen or
some
not
music.
going to? Is it going to happen or not going to happen? That is a great question.
I think there's going to be a lot of people out there who have paid, what was it, $500 to get the 279 early, are going to be so pissed off with this.
Here's something we haven't heard for a while. Oh, it's broken. Oh no.
It's not broke. Your Steam Deck is broken.
Oh, though the link to Boom.
Yeah, we haven't heard that. Boom!
Wait, where did that go? How does that not?
Oh no.
It's literally the only
Yeah.
one. It's literally the only one we have. What do I think? Oh man, what's everybody else saying here? Muskrat says
many
need see. I love that's what I love about you guys. Muskrat, you need to go talk to Congress about something. Do you think it will or won't happen? Well, it needs to happen. That's not the answer. That wasn't the question, Mr. Stranger. What's the question? Cliffy says predict, but the nerfs won't actually be effective. Not. Yep, that might be. They won't buck the hardcores. Okay. Is the nerf going to allow those tanks to participate in events they currently disallowed from? Great question. Great
Good
question.
Yeah.
Theoretically, that would be a way to bring them back in if they were. Yeah. Too many Unicums raging, says not working. Haber says never. He's like, nope, ain't happening. Cyberfly could put the boosters out of a job. I know,
Yeah.
right? So that's the thing we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
Just around midnight, liked Cliffy's. Sarge Marine, what's happening, man? How are you doing? I invaded Iraq with the Marines, man. Actually, they invaded. I was baggage, but anyway. Gator, think it will happen, but new tank will be released. That's the rope-a-dope right there, Pilgrim.
It is.
They're gonna nerf
That's
it
it.
and then release a better tank.
That's exactly that.
Damn it! I didn't think about that one. I
Yeah.
did think about that one. Fast Red says no. Yeah, my sounds are suck. I think pizza and beer is the key to life. I cannot argue
Oh, yeah.
against that.
Can't argue with that.
I cannot argue against that. Warfiend says it will happen, otherwise the game is going to die. All right.
Yeah.
Never
It's
to
dying.
tanks you pay money for. Yep, that's been a point in there. 2004 Al Assad. No shit. Yeah, I went with Task Force Tarawa, and then up into An-Nazariya. That was fun. And when I say I went, fellas, I was not up front. I was with the regimental HQ in the back. So this is not a brag or anything. I'm just saying where I was. And then I went to 1st Marine Division, to the division, and went up to.
Is that something that the Air Force do? Is get themselves attached to the land army, if you like?
You do if you're me, man. I was
If you're you.
Yeah, I was an
Because
ALO.
I never saw you on Desert Storm. I'm sure you must have been.
Well, now that's World War Storm. I wasn't in that one. I wasn't even in the
Oh,
military.
you were in the second one. Got
Yeah, I was a
Okay.
brand new commissioned lieutenant on World War Storm, but World War Storm 2, I was
Got
in
ya.
Germany with the Big Red One.
Got you. All right. Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so we took a bunch of ALOs down to do the ALO thing with the
Yeah.
Army, and then they decided they wanted a liaison between the DASC and the ASOS.
Yes, of course. Makes sense.
Sorry,
doesn't it?
ASOC. ASOS was the squadron.
Yeah, yeah.
ASOC was the air thing. So I was the lucky Stucky because I was an extra major coming down there, and
I got you.
the colonel.
Supernumerary.
Yeah, the colonel's like, hey, we have
Supernumerary.
like the good idea ferry landed on our shoulders, and we're going to send you and two in a JTAC and a Romad, so 3 of us and a soft side Humvee and a bunch of radios. You go over to the DASC, drive over to camp or whatever. We were in Camp New York, and it was camp whatever the Marines were in. Go find this guy, and they're expecting you, and you're now attached to the DASC for the.
So did you have to do all their phys, all their physical and everything? Do you know what I
No,
mean?
we did our own PT. Yeah, I mean, people were running and stuff, but they were getting ready to invade. There was none of that.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot
Well,
of that shit.
They made us they made us do PT in full NBC kit when we deployed to Blackadder. We went to Blackadder camp.
Dude, we wore that shit for
yeah,
weeks.
It's like, first thing in the morning, get your
Yeah.
NBC kit on and go for a run. That's flipping Nora.
Yeah, we put that stuff
That's a
on the morning
spin.
of, and it
Yeah.
didn't take it off for I don't know how long it was, guys. What, 2 weeks or
Yeah,
whatever the hell it was.
horrendous, man.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 weeks in the same thing. The good
Sergeant Reed went as a contractor. There you go.
the good thing about it is that all that charcoal stuff soaks up the BO.
Yeah, so yeah.
As
But
soon
the
as
suit
we
stinks.
took those things off and put on regular uniforms,
Yeah.
within a week I'm like, why do we all smell so
Yeah,
bad?
yeah.
Like for 2 weeks we were in the NBC gear, nobody smelled bad.
No.
Well, it was soaking all that up. And once you put regular uniforms on, it got spicy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there was no room service, my friend. I slept in
No.
either in the Humvee in the passenger side or in a little 2-man tent.
Well, you see, now you say that. Now you're officer class, so there was a little bit of hip flasks and fancy cakes, wasn't there? There was, wasn't there?
No,
Come on, admit it.
I slept in the Humvee.
Get out, man.
We had a 2-man.
Get out.
We had a
Get
2-man.
out, man.
We had a 2-man tent and a Humvee.
Well,
So-
I'm flabbergasted.
Now 3 of us could get it, the 3 of us, just the 3 of us. Me, a sergeant, and an airman. We could get in the 2-man, but
Yeah.
that wasn't great. People,
No.
So usually one of them would sleep in the Humvee, and 2 of us would sleep in the tent.
Well, there you are.
But, man, we were-
I'm suitably impressed because without having a linen cloth table set up with silverware for your dinner, I'm gobsmacked. I really am.
Now what I did have, because I'm not stupid,
Okay.
is right before we actually went over and coordinated with them. We went back and were at the Army unit for a while, and then when we were getting ready to invade, we went back over. But we went over to the supply dude, and I got like 4 cases of Humvees and 4 cases of Humvees, 4 cases of MREs, and put them in the Humvee down underneath. So there was a point where they were running out of freaking MREs for the Marines because they were outrunning their supply so much.
Right.
And they were down to like sharing MREs and shit.
Yeah.
We weren't.
No, but the thing is about MREs, I think you had an improvement program go with MREs, because when I was on Desert Storm, we linked in with obviously you guys because we sort of cohabited, and I was doing a black market trade in Guido's black market. I was doing a black market trade in British rations because you guys were calling MREs meals rejected by Ethiopia.
That's right. That's right.
It's so horrendous.
Cuddle buddies.
Absolutely.
I was a major oath keeper. I was a major at the time. Yeah, so that was very interesting. That the Task Force Tarawa didn't have any organic air. It was kind of a flaw. Generally, Marine units have their own air, but the way they had
That's what I
designed.
thought. It was a combined.
Well, they were supposed to get air from the 1st Marine Division by coordination, but they didn't have any actual. They did later. They kind of figured out like that's not a great idea, and then they changed the way the organization was. But
Sure. Yeah.
but Task Force Tarawa was supposed to go down Nasiriyah and secure the crossing, and then they were going to pass through. Is that the word? I think so. Pass through the 1st Marine Division across the bridge and onto the east side of the country, and then the Marines were going up the east, and the Army was going up the west on the Tigris or Euphrates or whatever the hell it is there.
Yeah.
And so either side of it. But as you remember, Al Nasiriyah became a bit of a firefight, and then the 503rd got shot up, and a bunch of people got captured. So we got paused there for a bit to sort that out, and then they pushed in there. And then once they did the pass through, they actually remissioned the Task Force Tarawa, and they did a bunch of other shit. But I left them at that point and went to 1st Marine Division.
So that was, and then you did air liaison right the way through.
Yeah. I mean, Oathkeeper. I was with the regimental HQ. So yes, I was in a tent and sometimes slept in Humvee. I was nowhere near the front line. So I was the regimental HQ was quite a bit more basic. Obviously, the division had the big tent and all that crap going on, a lot more people. But Task Force Tarawa, what they would do for the DASC is they had 3 Humvees that they would put in a U shape,
Yeah.
and then they had a tent like a covering they put over it, and then they had all the radios on the side of the Humvee. So we had the 4th Humvee, we were off to the side because we had an HF and some other things going on. But during the tearaway portion of before the tents got put up, yeah, we were in a little U
So
shape.
you were liaison for the USAF as opposed to
Yes.
the
So
Marine flight.
any cross boundary fires,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
if they got close, because obviously it's
Yeah.
the enemy doesn't know there's a magic line between the air assets. So there were some engagements near the border of the two, and then we could coordinate back and forth.
Sure.
And we
Yeah.
did a thing where we brought a bunch of aerovac into Al Nazaria because of the 503rd and the Marines going in there. There were obviously a significant number of casualties, and then we had a friendly fire incident, and all kinds of bad shit. So we brought in coordinated to bring in some aerovac from the Army. So they sent some Blackhawks over to pick up people and take them back. Actually, some Chinooks, I believe, and take them back to the hospitals and stuff. So that kind of coordinating between the units.
Yeah, that's cool. I love the fact. I mean, and I know you were like Air Force coordinating with the Land Army, but I love the fact that when I was a young Lance Corporal, I was 18 years old as a Lance Corporal, which is the same as your private first class or your Army's private first class. I could call in Harrier jump jets, which I did. not in the Gulf. This was way back when I was in Belize. You've heard that story when we got to Marlins and all that lot.
Yeah.
And I was allowed as a Lance Corporal to get on the radio to contact JTOC. We used to call it Joint Air Tasking something or other. And just call it in. And I had 2 Harriers come in on my request as a young 18-year-old.
There you
soldier.
go.
I was like, oh, this is awesome.
There you go.
I can call in the RAF.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Love
Well,
it.
that's what the sergeant that was with me, the staff sergeant was with me. He was a fully qualified JTAC, so he was qualified to do all of the terminal air control
Yeah. It's cool.
and drop stuff. 83rd Expeditionary. I was with Task Force Tarawa and then 1st Marine Division. I don't know if one of those units was 83rd Expeditionary, to be quite honest with you, Oathkeeper, but it was initially called Task Force Tarawa, which was a separate unit. Whether they were actually 83rd Expeditionary, I don't know. I should probably know that, but I don't.
Did you? I know you're reading chat, but did you then go back to flying after that?
I did, yeah. Once I finished up
Straight
there,
away?
yeah.
Yeah.
We left as soon as we took Baghdad. I was there for another couple weeks, and then they realized that they had most of their ALOs all there, and they're like, we're gonna be here for a while, so we need to start rotating because we're gonna have to keep rotating guys, and that's when they went, okay, we have too many people here. Let's send some back because you got shit you got to do in Germany, and then of course you're bringing ALOs in, you're sending them back to units, so they had to set up the flow, and I was pretty close within about 2 months of leaving, so I went back, was at the squadron there, and then when I left there, I went to Eglin and actually came here to Tyndall and got requalled in the 15, and then I had an Eglin assignment next, so that's where I went next.
Got you. I find your deployment length incredible. We sort of do 4 to 6 month tours,
Yeah.
and we find that fits. I mean, this is Army. But I think even your Army do like year deployments.
Yeah, the combat tours were a year. Yeah, the Afghanistan, Iraq stuff was a year. I did a 6 month in Kuwait, not a combat. At the end of my career, there was not nearly as much shooting going on in Iraq at the time, but it was only 6 months, so I did a 6 month in Kuwait.
But that's our standard. I mean, this comes from the days of Northern Ireland. It was a 4 or a 6 month. We used to do 2-year tours, but that was a posted with your family tour.
So the reason is
Combat tours
one of the
for 4 to
reasons
6 months.
Yeah, one of the reasons is if it's, and they may have changed this rule, but back a while back, it was anything over like 180 days was considered a PCS, and then they owed you more money for things like PCS.
All right.
So most everything was 6 months. The combat stuff, I think, was a special case because they needed those guys to get spun up and be effective for a significant amount of time. So if you just did 6 month tours, you'd spend 2 months spun up, 2 or 3 months useful, and now you're training a new unit already. So they,
Yeah.
they expanded that and changed the rules for those guys. So that's why combat tours tended to be a year as opposed to 6
There's a
months.
lot of burnout with a year tour on combat, though. A lot of burnout. You
Yeah.
know, guys get over. Anyway, let's get back to tanks. FBI showed up at your house.
Yeah. I was just looking at this actually, back to tanks. I was kind of curious what the top played tank is. This is NA, and it looks like it's the Burr. And then the Leopard 1, then the PTA, which sort of surprised me. Was the Leopard just on? I think the Leopard was just on top of the tree.
Yeah.
So that's why that's.
Yeah,
so
it
far.
was, wasn't it? I think
Yeah.
it was.
So what does EU say? Burr, the Burr as well, and the Leopard. Wow, look at that. The same 3 top. Then it changes a little bit. I was just kind of curious about all that stuff. All right, what else did we have? That was the big rumor. Oh, the last thing, and we're going quite long today. That's what she said. Let's see. Is the roadmap? Did you guys see the roadmap?
No, I haven't, and you mentioned it before
Yeah.
we came live on stream, so I am quite interested to see what's
So
going
let's jump into this thing. I'm not
Hello,
going to
ladies
go
and
through
gentlemen. My
everything
name is
on
Michael,
it,
and we are
but is this going to work? No, it's not going to work. Why would it? There we go. Here's Michael. He's back.
back for the
He is
third
back, isn't he?
episode of the roadmap highlights.
Got a
Let
lot
me-
to
let
say
me-
for himself.
Let me change this here. Settings. So that you guys can hear it. Headphones. Has that worked?
I know it's
Yes,
summer.
okay.
I know it's very, very hot, but nevertheless, we are putting a lot of effort into developing.
What does that have to do with anything? It's summer, it's hot. Okay. but we're going to save you guys. We're developing some stuff. Air-conditioned tanks. Am I too picky on these? I'm probably too picky on these.
It is the guy from Porn Stars.
It is.
Have you ever seen that program, Porn Stars? Yeah, it is him.
From the World of Tanks development.
Updates.
All right, so Alexandra has some
Dive
stuff.
right in. Now, I'm sure many of you remember the Buffin Trager and Mirny 13 events. Well, we've got more updates and
She's too
juicy
young to
details
remember the Waffen
share
Trager
on-
event. What on earth is she going on about?
Yes,
That's before
Cliffy,
she was
exactly.
born.
Little small talk to loosen things up, little
these
intro.
modes and more. And for those of you craving something fresh, we've got just the thing. Introducing overwhelming fire.
All right, so first thing they're talking about is overwhelming fire. This is the auto cannon.
It's about experimentation,
I don't know.
crazy ideas at its very core.
I just hope that does not become a thing. It was bad enough with the little looks down at, what was it, tier 4? The looks?
Auto cannon, Artie.
No, that cannot be a reality.
Looks that sounds more like rockets, really, to be honest.
That's like Stalin's organ. That is,
yes,
mate.
it will feature autocannons. We intend for this mode to be more of an
Get
enhancement
out of
to
it,
our
look at
usual
it.
fun events.
Now we've talked about this before. What they need to do with events like this is have contests and do things like all autocannon Artie battles.
Yes.
Right? It's all every
Yes.
single person is in an autocannon Artie.
Yes.
Stuff, fun stuff like that. I mean, but anyway. So this is coming up
You have all sorts of cannon and gun types for all, each with their own.
because there is an autocannon tank coming at some point, or
course there is.
or line, I think. So overwhelming fire is on its way. Then we have the Waffentrager event, guys. It looks like it's back.
Chaotic and a fun experience.
Yeah, but it's back for the event. It's not back in game, is it?
All
It's
set
Yeah.
back for this thing that it does.
battlefield.
No mention of boxes because, as we know, they're low on box pixels.
Yeah, they've used all the pixels up on this stuff. That's
Say
why.
hello to Hannelore.
Irma Linda's has a sister.
Will now join the alliance. With a new ally, the alliance also has a new commander.
All right, so Waffentrager, Mirny 13.
Anticipated game mode.
Oh,
This
look at that.
upcoming episode will serve as the epic
A highly anticipated game mode. Is it?
However,
Notice the
Of course
first.
it is.
Notice the first 3 things they talk about are 2 modes, three modes. 3 modes.
3 modes.
3 modes. Yeah, not the main game.
Muni
All right,
Yeah.
next is
Expect to to see random events in random battles.
This is
With
for
a
randoms.
special maps in development tag. Once you are in the battle, to disable these maps from
Special
appearing
maps in
in your
battle.
map pool.
To
as
disable
they're
what?
innate to see
No, listen.
random events in random battles. With a special maps in development tag, once you are in the battle, to disable these maps from appearing in your map pool.
Oh. Okay.
Now, if I'm in a scout and I know that proc is one of the maps that has these random events happening, if I turn off the random events, does that mean I don't get to proc?
That is a very good point. You are never going to see that map if you turn it off. Is that going to be the case?
Does that mean I never get proc? Or does it actually do some regular procs for the people who don't want it and some random
I
event
can't see that.
procs?
I can't see that.
I don't see
No.
that happening either, especially in a relatively low population server like NA.
Yeah, I can't see how they would split that down, to be honest. I think you would, if you disable it, you've disabled it. It's as simple as that. You're not getting that map.
And I think Bonzi's got a good point there, and that's kind of, it's probably just the way it's going to work, not really intended to be that way, but I don't see how it isn't that way.
As they're
Yeah.
enabled by default.
But
Greasy finger stuck in a mines loop. Yeah, you can just mines
More
after
dynamic,
mines after
as the
mines. I
events
hate
can
this
launch
map.
at any time during the battle, usually in the
okay, so they can launch at any time during the battle. That's good info. That was a question we had.
Though they may not happen at all.
And they may not happen at all. So what she said is it's random throughout the battle. Usually in the first half, they may not happen at all.
Okay.
The objects
They've
are
changed,
more random
and they've changed it up quite a bit, actually.
spectacular than they were in Recon Mission. In some places, they will substantially change the map landscape, and here you can see the difference.
I
in
just
the events
wonder
in
with
Himmelsdorf. The
um,
event zone will be
those.
significantly improved.
I mean, I haven't
visually,
got high
and
end now.
instead
It's
of
not
the
classed as
design,
high end, my
it will
rig, but
be
those not anymore. It's not.
indicates
But those with the lower end
zone.
rigs, whether it's
event zone.
going to be effective, whether you're going to see as much as what they're showing.
They did mention that you will have lower performance when you're running these things.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Skill for you sued Chems? But like Chems made a joke, or did he actually do that?
will be changed as well, with the vehicles.
Hey,
All right.
Zimbo.
Working on our new generation of maps.
Got a new generation of
But we
maps.
have not
Hey, Zimbo.
forgotten about old maps and the need of continual work and rebalance.
So they're going to work on
We
some
have
maps.
around 10 maps being rebalanced to improve the gameplay experience on all
10
of
maps
them
being
and even
rebalanced.
out the win chance for both teams. Some of them
Interesting that she did he actually sue Chems, really?
Did he? I mean, can he do that? That's the thing.
I don't
He's in
know.
a
I mean,
different
I
country,
guess
isn't he?
well, it depends on the laws, doesn't it? It depends on the
Yeah.
the laws in his country and this one and however he's doing it and what he's suing him for. I mean, I suppose you could make some kind of argument for defamation. Is that which one's the one that's in writing or whatever? I don't know.
Oh,
I-
libel, isn't it?
Yeah, libel. Yeah, I don't want to get into it. Whatever. People
Just
are,
on the new maps, these are not going to be new maps from the scratch. These are going to be the maps that they've played around with, that they're calling new, that's been around for about 5 years. And then they'll introduce them. I think that's where this new map thing is. I don't think it's new maps.
yeah.
I think it's just maps that we've had.
Well, I like that she mentioned the win rates on the various maps, because if you look at some of the stat aggregation sites, you can find some of the win rates for maps, and some of them are quite out of whack, depending on the side.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the
Oh.
side that you spawn in on. So that is almost the exact same discussion about balancing tanks. It can get
Yeah.
tricky. It can get tricky.
Yeah, yeah, because you could do one small adjustment to a map, which then unrealizing it I know it's not a word, but unrealizingly give an advantage to one side or the other. So it has to be worked out properly, doesn't it?
Yeah, Chems is a pretty damn talented video maker, but some of his content is pretty spicy. That's what I'll say about that.
It's getting views, which gets him money. So there you go.
Well, I mean, some of his videos have more streams, more views than anyone else's.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
there-
we need to spice it up a bit.
Well, I mean, there's an appetite for that on the internet, right? I mean, that's no
No.
that's no surprise to anybody.
No,
you know.
not at all. No.
But yeah, yeah, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right, so the maps are changing.
Cool.
Maybe, hopefully, they're looking at balancing maps. Next thing is here's the Japanese heavy tank line, guys.
Current Japanese heavy tanks that end in the Type
Where's it coming off? Can't see it on the video.
Shiho.
Type 71.
Shiho.
Let's go
okay.
back to it.
The new line of tanks under development will be very different from the current Japanese heavy tanks that end in the Type.
There it is. So off the Chihei, tier 4. So they'll have a tier 5 to 10. Mitsu 108, Junu, Juto, Type 57, Type 68, Type 71. And then the Type, whatever that thing was, that was the premium. Yep.
Look like regular tanks instead of boxes, which is nice.
Yeah.
71 line
So you can see
will
quite
look
considerably
far
different.
modern and technologically advanced.
All right, so we've got the Japanese heavies.
The last announced any details.
What is that? Is that a
Following last
railgun?
announcement, we have
It's not,
been
is it?
It's some kind of cooling system, supposedly,
Okay.
and that's that whole wait a little longer till it cools down and it gets more accurate
Got you.
idea.
Yeah.
Whatever. I suppose that maybe that was some kind of experimental thing on tank guns at some point.
working
Possibly,
hard
I
on
don't know.
putting your feedback
She's
into
been working
action.
hard on
We're
something.
still in early development phase, so the changes will come live in spring.
This is
next
crew
year
stuff.
at the earliest. But we want to share these important
Touchy
details
subject.
with you now.
We will remove below 100%
Get me
shrink
radiator
speed
gun, yeah,
in order
one
to
of them.
make the player experience with crews more convenient.
We will remove below. Right. Okay.
What? And they show making crew books, but then they're going to show over here that any crew you have that's below 100% will be raised to 100%.
Crews will start with a 100% training on the vehicle they are trained in. We are aware many players have invested time
Oh.
and energy in their crews, especially when it comes to training them. The XP that was earned
Okay.
training 50% crews up to 100% will be added.
That's interesting. So if you if you have any crews that started less than 100%, I guess they have all that data in the crew file, I suppose. They're going to take that experience it took you to get to 100 and add it to your skill, or I guess it's perks now, to your perk total. That's
Okay.
not a lot. It's not a lot. It's some though, but it's not a lot.
To the crew experience pool. This change in tank training level means that you will no longer be able to transfer crew to a standard tech tree tank that they are not trained for.
Do you know why they're doing that?
Oh.
Someone put it in chat. Why are they doing that? Anybody know?
Be about right. That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah. There you go. Using rentals or regular tech tree tanks as extra bunks. So all your dudes, all of you who are storing crews, that's going to be awesome. They're all going to get kicked out of their tanks and put into your barracks. And if you don't have enough barracks space, you won't lose your crew, but you won't be able to move crews around
No.
until
Need barrack space.
you get enough barrack space or dismiss enough crews. Yeah, I wonder, Caduceus. So I bet they won't. I don't know, man. Maybe that will be part of it. And who knows if they've even thought about it. So I thought that was kind of funny. I'm like, oh boy, secondary and tertiary effects of changes, man.
You, with an overview of the upcoming events,
They're gonna add a new tab to the web page that gives you more info.
updates, and features in the next several months of World of Tanks. This should help you see important
So there's an
events
info page.
with all your
Now,
training needs.
here we go. I didn't watch this whole video. I watched the basic stuff. Oh, the tab's already up there. Good. And this morning I was watching it, and I watched the end of it. And this is interesting because it goes back to what we've been talking about.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. And before you go on your well-deserved summer holiday, I want to assure you that we are working on a very sensitive and important topic constantly, which is vehicle rebalancing. Unfortunately, I have no information that I can share with you right now, since there's a lot of work going on and a lot of discussions, and we really want to get it right. But rest assured that in the next upcoming months, you will get an update on the latest development on this stage. In the meantime, I want you to hit like and subscribe, so you're not missing out on any new...
So, about the time that this came out was about the same time that the information on about Watt Express / they're going to nerf the 279 and the Chieftain. So those two kind of make me feel like they are indeed looking at it at least semi-seriously.
I mean, the stats must bear it out, or they wouldn't be bothered with it.
Yeah. So those are two data points that say they're probably working on that. Again, everyone put their guesses in there about whether it's going to happen or not. I never really said what I thought. I still don't know. History says they will announce it. There will be a huge outcry and they'll back off.
Yeah, that's sort of my feeling. I think they have a history of folding when the pressure hits.
But I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say, even as thick as they are, they finally realize something has to be done. The fact that he's up here now, that he was on that video and mentioned it, indicates to me that the powers that be there understand the issue and are going to try to do something, even if it just turns out to be a placebo cosmetic kind of thing.
I think that the percentage of people who have these tanks worldwide is not big enough to make that big an impact if they decide to go ahead with it.
Yeah.
I think it'll make serious noise, but if you look at the percentage of players, if there's 1 million players and it's like 1%, I think they'll take the hit on the chin and go, well, we're only upsetting 1% of the player base, so who gives a toss?
Odd Dog says the players won't eat it. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's that's why it's so fascinating to me. The whole thing is there's so many different things going on here because there's the boosting company guys making a bunch of money off a bunch. I don't know what they make. They make some money apparently. People have been buying these things for $300. You know, you spent $500, whatever, getting this tank, and then it gets nerfed. I actually kind of love that.
Well, you can't actually complain about that, can you? You can't go to Wargaming and say, I spent $500 with the boosting company getting this tank and now you've nerfed it, because they're just going to ban you. So you can't even complain about it, can you?
Yeah.
You can't say diddly squat.
I mean, as a what's the word I'm looking for? Observer of the passing scene of gaming, World of Tanks in particular, but gaming overall, I'm not that bothered by the boosters. I mean, it's fascinating to me how all this builds around itself. The reason specifically the boosters for buying tanks, the reason that's a business is the tanks are that much better.
Yeah, if they weren't, nobody would want it.
If they weren't, you wouldn't spend
That's
$300.
exactly right. Yeah.
If they weren't overpowered, you wouldn't spend $300 for a 279
No.
really.
No.
Nerf the mission so everyone can get them. There you go, Gator. I could use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, nerf the upper plate on the 279 early. There you go. Well, man, that was a good one, my friend. I'm about out of words, as my
you're wordless.
My little cousin once said to my wife, "Stop talking to me. I've used all the words I'm going to use on you."
Love that. That is awesome.
My wife was trying to knock the talk out of her. It's one of the twins, and it was probably 10 years ago. She was 4 or 5. Stop talking to me. I've used all the words I'm going to use on you.
I think 5-year-olds have got it to the T, because I've got a 5-year-old granddaughter who said to me the other day, when she said something to me and I said, pardon, because I didn't hear her, she said, "What is it? Am I talking French or Swahili here? Can't you understand English, Grandad?" And that's a 5-year-old. And I just went, I can't deal with that.
Don't click on that link, Sarge. You know that, but don't click on it. Yes, the air show this year in Panama City is going to be over the beach. So they're going to do there's no statics because Tyndall has a bunch of construction going on. What do they call it? A fly-in? I think there was a term for it. for an air show that's just the flying part and not the static. I can't remember what the dang word is. But yeah, so show center is at Pier Park over the beach. Over the, or at the pier.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Get it filmed. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, those are scam messages, man.
Yeah.
I would just stay away from them. I just delete them. All right, that is all I've got, Pilgrim. I think I'm about to go get on with the rest of my Sunday. We'll let you fine folks do the same. I do appreciate everybody coming by. Several actually resubs.
Got a
Silver,
follows. Got some
Zemke,
follows as well.
Diablo, follow from Jampa. Sorry I missed that, guys. Jampa7, thank you. Shadow Killer 1967, much appreciated. Mr. Clutch, thank you guys. Very awesome. Bonzi, also with the resub. So thanks, guys. Much appreciated. Good day, Cyberfly. How's Pensacola going? I'm coming out that way, actually, in a couple weeks. My son's going back to school. So we're going to move him into his apartment out that way.
Apparently,
Right.
Walmart has started the Christmas thing already. It's awesome.
Cliffy, thanks, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, I went into Lowe's the other day, and it's not Christmas, but they've got the big Halloween monster guys
Really?
there. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And that was a
man.
week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Crikey.
Oh, you graduated to Scambia. Nice, man. Right on. I'm over in Panama City. That's where I'm living right now. All right. That's all I've got. Let's go raid somebody. Shall we?
Let's go raid.
Let's go raid somebody. Who shall we raid, my friends? Well, there's not that many people up and going right now. Let's take a look here.
It's a bit early, isn't it?
Sarge Marine, peace out, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, take care, buddy.
Saw a spirit up in the rundown strip. Oh, so spirit. Yeah, there you go. That's how you know Halloween's here. Spirit's going, what on
Yep.
earth? What the heck? All right, so I just went to Twitch. On the live channels, this woman has an oiled up shower stream.
Oh dear. We don't want to go there, do we? We really just
And
do not
she's
want to
got like big pasties on, but nothing else.
go. That is, how did they get away with it? That's the thing. They get away with it. I've got
Okay.
all that stuff blocked. If not blocked, I don't bother with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, can you block like adult stuff or whatever?
Well, you can. Yeah, you can take it out. There's a 3-dot right-click thing. You can take it out. You know what I mean? So I think it says
weird.
I'm not interested in this, and then you can.
Oh, right. And then maybe you don't see it again.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't see it again. Cliffy wants it. Cliffy wants to go.
Hey, just go to Twitch. It's
Okay.
probably be on your page.
Oh dear. Get raid Zimbo.
What do you say?
man.
Rate it, yeah.
Yeah, raid Zimbo.
Oh, is Zimbo streaming?
No, you could say you could fire up my stream.
Oh, do it, man.
Everybody
All right,
knows.
let me know if you're gonna do it. We'll raid you.
Excuse me.
Oh,
not
not
now.
now,
I'm just not gonna
okay.
do it.
I just mine's full of Baldur's Gate. You know what? I think I'm gonna get that. There's a lot of good reviews on that actually.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I intended to get it anyway, but I may get it sooner than later. Do you have it, Cliffy? Is it good? Cliffy's probably already finished it.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't see anyone I really know here.
Well then, we could call it a day. And not
We're gonna raid
raid.
Bum and Dead, just because that's a weird name.
That's just a weird
Yeah.
name. Just see what they're doing.
Bum and Dead. All right, starting to raid Pilgrim. Thanks for coming along, everybody. Much appreciated. This is Guido signing off from the left side of the Atlantic.
Pilgrim signing off from the correct side of the Atlantic. Sir.
We will see ya.